Yeah, sure. Thanks, Nishit. So 3 days ago, Finance Minister announced several relief measures relating to statutory and regulatory matters across various sectors. Now, these are more in the context of compliance matters, and there was also an indication that probably more relief is expected as the days go by and as the government really takes stock of the situation in view of the 21-day lockdown. But on a very immediate basis, three, four things have been done. One is that, the last date for extension of income tax returns for the financial year 18-19 has been extended from 31st March till 30th of June. Now, both belated as well as revised returns for the financial year ended 2019 could be filed till 31st March 2020. So that has been extended, and this could bring some respite for taxpayers who are not able to file their returns given the lockdown situation. There's also a deadline extension for the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. Now, as we know, the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme is more of an income tax settlement scheme. And this was a direct tax scheme announced in the budget 2020 last month for settling tax disputes between individuals and tax department, business houses also and tax departments. What this scheme does is that it gives a complete waiver on interest and penalties, provided that the taxpayer pays the complete amount of taxes. And the deadline for paying the tax was 31st of March. Beyond that, if tax would have been paid, then you could have still gotten covered within the scheme, but there was an extra 10% tax amount. This extension is a much required relief, considering that taxpayers were still figuring out whether they should opt for the scheme or not. The law came into effect from March 17th, and the related forms, etc., were just notified recently. And it just gave a very small timeline of about 10 to 12 days for people to figure out whether they would want to opt for this scheme, and also to get the liquidity for paying the taxes till 31st of March. So this scheme has been extended till June of 30th, and there is no additional 10% amount if payment of taxes is made by June 30th. So that's definitely a welcome move. The other thing which has been done is that for all notices, intimations, any reports that need to be filed, any time limit for completion of proceedings, which were expiring till 29th of June, between 20th March and 29th of June, those have been extended till 30th of June. What this really does is that while it extends the period for issuance of notices, any notifications or any filings or completion of proceedings, however, this should not really be looked at as extending the statute of limitation where the time period expires, let's say in November or in December of this year. And probably that's something which the government is going to wait and watch, depending how things pan out. Nishabhai already talked about how, there's a reduced interest rate of 9% for delayed payments of advance tax and for TDS. And these payments can now be made till 30th of June. However, there is, like Nishbai mentioned, this is just a reduced rate of interest. There is no deferral there is no waiver of the reduce of the interest rate. The interest rate still needs to be paid. There are similar changes for more compliance-related changes where it comes to GST and indirect taxes, and businesses having turnover of less than 5 crores can now file their returns within the last week of June 2020 without payment of any interest, late fee or penalties. However, anyone not getting covered within this 5 crore turnover limit can file by last week of June 2020, but there would be an interest rate of 9% which would apply for the late filing. There have been some other, GST-related compliance extensions which have also, also been enacted, or the finance minister has also indicated those will happen. I think apart from what measures the finance minister has introduced with respect to compliances, it's very interesting to see how our Indian judiciary is trying to, protect lawyers and judges and the general public against the coronavirus. And different forums have taken different approaches. The Supreme Court, came out by, saying that they will hear the cases, urgent cases via VC. However, now, day before yesterday, just, the judges have also postponed indefinitely the hearing of the urgent cases via VC, given the, the 21-day lockdown, which has been announced by the Prime Minister. Accordingly, even high courts and ITATs have also adjourned only for hearing matters. The Bombay ITAT had also, issued a notification saying that urgent matters can take place over web-based video conferencing, and parties can provide their WhatsApp IDs, their email IDs, and their Skype IDs, so that urgent hearings can take place over video conference. I think one very important development that happened is that, the Kerala High Court had taken note of, the deadly coronavirus and had directed income tax authorities and GST authorities to not, really do any coercive measures and to defer recovery proceedings. And the Kerala judge actually took note that because the government is issuing recovery notices, it's compelling litigants to approach courts, and therefore, you're leaving a lot of people vulnerable to the virus. Immediately, there was an SLP which was filed before the Supreme Court stating that, by giving a kind of a deferral for recovery proceedings, this would really, make the government very difficult to run even its basic maintenance and development activities and pay salary to crores of employees. And in lieu of, in consideration of the arguments which have been put forth, the Supreme Court has granted a stay on the Kerala High Court order, but it has also said that, there's a proper mechanism that will need to be evolved to, assuage the hardships of everyone. This is more on the litigation side, but, Rajesh, I think, we would all love to hear your thoughts, given how you actually live your life in courts. How do you really see this Kerala judgment and, the Supreme Court stay, the video conferencing, and how do you really see, this to pan out?